What's up, guys? How are you all doing? And of course, I hope you all enjoyed your Christmas. I know mine was kind of meh, was kind of good and bad. But I'm going to be doing another recap video. And I was going to do one after the first day of the 2023 Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. But I decided to wait until it was all over. And it was on the 21st, 22nd, and 24th this year. Defending champs was the University of Hawaiʻi, as you saw from my video last year. Unfortunately, this year did not go as I had hoped it would. As the University of Hawaiʻi, after winning it a year ago, they would end up finishing 4th place in 2023. And that means they went 1-2 in this tournament. So, let's get started. Okay, before I get to this, I just want to let you know just to subscribe if you have not. I am going to be doing some more recap videos. And I wanted to do this video, but I wanted to make sure that all this negative thoughts just kind of left my head already. And so far they have. So the first game was against the Portland Pilots. And I was looking online, and the last time we faced off against them was a number of years ago. But in the second half, the University of Hawaiʻi held Portland to just 4 field goals made in that second half. And in the second half, they made 11 field goals. The first half, they made 10. But I'll tell you what, that Portland game was probably the most energetic I'd ever seen the University of Hawaiʻi look, maybe since Central Arkansas. And the one guy that really took me by surprise that was not out there for Portland was Alimami Karoma after he transferred there from Cal Poly. But he did not see 1 minute of game time. I'm not sure if he was hurt or anything. He probably was. But anyway, I'm going to get to this. But anyway, as per University of Hawaiʻi is concerned, they were led by Matthue Cotton with 15, and Bernardo da Silva and Noel Coleman were next with 14. And I thought Matthue Cotton leading the way was a huge turnaround from what I've seen from him in the last 4 or 5 games. And I would like to think that he thought so too. Here's what he had to say.
My teammates and our coaches are always instilling that confidence in me to play hard and play my game. So, every night kind of a different result is always going to come. But as long as the intention is there, we're playing hard. But that's what you can really ask for.
And I'll tell you what, with Matthue Cotton going for 15 points, he was 6 for 12 from the field. He was 3 for 7 from 3-point range. And that's really good. I mean, 3 for 7, if you're looking at from the field, it's like, maybe got to get a little better there. But honestly, 3 for 7 from 3-point range is really good. You're shooting 50% from 3-point range. That's noteworthy. But Bernardo da Silva was the one who was the real beast for this game. And he was definitely in beast mode because, like I said, he had 14 points. He also had 11. He also had 11 rebounds. Now, the only defect there is that Bernardo da Silva was 0 for 2 from the free throw line, but they were both in the second half. And UH did not make a free throw in that second half. But as it turned out, they didn't need to. I was very, very happy with the way that game went because that was a very energetic game. I really think that they caught Portland with their pants down in multiple ways. And with Noel Coleman doing his thing with his 3-point shooting, he was 2 for 5. Matthue Cotton, 3 for 7, as I said. And of course, Juan Munoz, 1 for 4, surprisingly. I thought that was the only outlier because Munoz has been known to be a quality shooter. And to see him go 1 for 4 from 3-point range, I don't know if I would raise a red flag on that, but it was definitely surprising. But still, the fact that UH came out with as much energy as they did against a team like Portland, who you probably would not count on going to the tournament, to the NCAA tournament, but still, they got some quality players on there. I talked about that in my prediction video, but one guy that I had left out there, I talked about Chris Austin possibly being a threat for Portland. And I think Tyler Robertson as well. But the one guy I ended up leaving out unintentionally was their lead scorer, Vukasin Masic. He had 18. And Tyler Robertson, he had 11. He also had a game-high 7 rebounds. And give Portland credit because they definitely gave us a run for our money. But fortunately, we wanted it more and we got it. I was very, very pleased with the energy that UH showed because they proved that they had what it took to possibly repeat. But unfortunately, it did not work out on Georgia Tech. And I'm going to get to Georgia Tech in just a little bit. But still, what kind of grade would I give them for the Portland game? A definite A+. Because they came out with a lot of energy, like I said. They fought for the ball, especially Bernardo da Silva. And they were very efficient on assists. They had 17 assists. The University of Hawaiʻi I'm talking about. They had 17 assists to Portland's 7. And as for turnovers, 12 turnovers overall. That's a good number. I can live with that. But I also thought that they definitely proved that they got some quality shooters, not just Matthue Cotton, but also Munoz and Coleman. And I thought that the fact that they've been showing so much energy in their roles has certainly been giving me a lot of good feelings about conference play. So as I said, I would give them an A grade. And I may not have said the score earlier, so I'll say that right now. As you're seeing on a graphic here, 69-56 UH won by. They had built their lead to as many as 18, and Portland, they cut it down to 7, but it was 2 back-to-back triples from Matthue Cotton that put the writing on the wall, and Portland would eventually go winless in the Diamond Head Classic. So, as I said, I would give them an A for this game. Georgia Tech, I don't know, but I'll get to that right now. So, let's talk about Georgia Tech, shall we? Okay, Georgia Tech. I thought that was a winnable game, but unfortunately, Georgia Tech had other plans. Now, obviously, Georgia Tech, they're a lot tougher team. And unfortunately, the only tough team that we won over was probably Portland. And unfortunately, Georgia Tech came out swinging. and UH took a little bit to get going in that first half. And they were down 43-27. But in the second half, they probably put together the most complete second half I've seen for a trailing team. Now, after that, there was a time in the second half where UH went on a 21-3 run, whereas in contrast, Georgia Tech, those 3 points that they scored were all from the free throw line. Now, or I should say, those 3 points that they scored were all from the free throw line, but they went scoreless for almost 10 whole minutes. And I think that and as Javon McClanahan had said during the presser, he said that they got flustered and that's where the gap closed. But why couldn't UH come out on top? Because they ended up losing that game by 5, 73-68. And unfortunately, Javon McClanahan had pointed out that their big problem, the University of Hawaiʻi, was offensive rebounds. And here's what he had to say.
I think when we were up, we gave up an offensive rebound, and then they got to the line, and then they got another offensive rebound. And, you know what I mean? It's the same story of the game. It wasn't. I don't think we folded in any way. I just think that they found a way to get another possession.
Yeah, you really can't afford to give so many offensive rebounds, because in terms of offensive rebounds, UH had only 7 to Georgia Tech's 15. And if UH had gotten a lot more offensive rebounds and has shown that they were just as hungry for the ball, they could very well have kept Georgia Tech scoreless even longer and maybe came out the winners. Unfortunately, UH ended up being outscored 15-9 in the last 4.5 minutes of that game. Now, what kind of grade would I give the University of Hawaiʻi for the Georgia Tech game? They were able to erase a 21-point deficit and took the lead from a Bernardo da Silva free throw, and I'll talk about him in a minute. But as far as the grade goes, I would probably give them a B+ at worst. I was going to say an A-, but considering they didn't win this game, I'm going to give them a B+. Now, what really took me by surprise there was the fact that Bernardo da Silva, who had notoriously been 50% from the free throw line in some games, during that run, da Silva was all aces at the free throw line. He made 4 straight. And you would think that with UH committing only 4 turnovers all game long and Bernardo da Silva hitting 4 free throws in a row, you'd think that UH would have come out on top. But unfortunately, they did not. And that was overall really disappointing. And I truly thought that UH got robbed. Plain and simple.
68.
So they were able to erase that run as I was talking about, but the fact that they couldn't be solid to win the game really cost them. I thought they got flustered after spending so much time playing catch-up, and when they had to switch gears to close it out, it was too late. And Georgia Tech had scored a bucket and retook the lead, and they never gave it back up. But McClanahan didn't think so. And as you heard earlier, he said that when we were up, we gave away an offensive rebound, and they got to the line and got another offensive rebound. So, in fact, before I go on, I'm putting up my banner here. As you already see, 4th overall in the Diamond Head Classic. But anyway, Georgia Tech, that was a winnable game. But unfortunately, the last 4.5 minutes were pretty disappointing. But still, as disappointed as I was in the team, I think if this team can erase big double-digit gaps, because they were able to erase a 12-point gap against Utah, and they were able to erase a 21-point gap against Georgia Tech. This team is going to be on the radar at some point during conference season. I guarantee it. Do I think we'll win the conference? I like to say yes, but we're going to have to bring our shots, and we're going to have to bring our A game. So as I said, I give them a B+ for the Georgia Tech game. The third place game against Texas Christian University, or TCU, did not go particularly well. So let's get to that. Okay, TCU. That actually was a friendly rivalry because Jamie Dixon, who was a former UH assistant coach along with Aron Ganat under Riley Wallace, when both gentlemen were at the University of Hawaiʻi, that was kind of like a friendly homecoming of sorts. But still, unfortunately, that game against TCU did not go well at all. As you see on this graphic here, they lost 65-51. And that was pretty disappointing. The only one who cracked double figures for UH was Noel Coleman. He had 19. The next closest was Juan Munoz with 9, all from three-point range. But what took me by surprise about that game was the fact that TCU led for so long and nobody had cracked 10 points until late into the second half. It was a balanced scoring effort, but you would think that with nobody cracking 10 points by the second half, especially so late, that UH would win this thing going away, but they didn't. The unfortunate part was TCU couldn't miss from three-point range. They were 5 for 7. But it seemed like they were bombing threes every single time. They were cooled off a bit, 1 for 3 in the second half. But the fact that UH came out so flat and with very little want to win this game, at least from my view anyway, that's why they finished 4th. And as Juan Munoz says here, he didn't think they deserved that. He didn't think they deserved that win.
I don't think we deserved it. I don't think we played with the same fight, same grit that we had last year. But we're for sure going to get that back. So, over this break and starting conference play, we're for sure going to get that back.
I agree. And I agree there. I mean, I don't think UH really showed the same kind of fight against Georgia Tech. But give TCU credit at the same time because they're a tournament team. And regardless, I thought it was a winnable game. Obviously, I was wrong. But anyway, regardless of how you slice it, the real season begins next Saturday against Cal State Fullerton. So I'm going to get to the second part of this video. I'm going to put up a new banner here. That's right. Fullerton, my prediction for Cal State Fullerton. I have UH as 5-point favorites. And that's kind of like meh, Normally I put them for double digits, but considering that UH never got a win against Cal State Fullerton last season, which was by far not just disappointing, but also embarrassing at the same time. But give Fullerton credit. I mean, they're a team that can steal one away from you if you're not careful. And they had won a game earlier this season by 50 points. So they're a team to look out for, as is CSUN. Because CSUN took down UCLA earlier this year. But anyway, as for Cal State Fullerton, I do not expect that to be easy. That's when the real season begins. I do expect UH to come out with fire and show that they are ready to go and they're picked to finish third in conference play. But the last time that happened was 2016, and we ended up winning it all. And of course, that was with the services of guys like Roderick Bobbitt, Cy Sumala, and Aaron Valdez. And unfortunately, after that, a lot of the horses had left. So I'm putting UH for 5-point favorites. I do think they have a lot to prove after being dumped by Fullerton 4 times in a row, if you count the Big West tournament in 2022. I think they got a lot to prove with this team. So I didn't really look at their roster. I just wanted to get this video off and running. So you will see some shots from there and also to end this video. So anyway, I'm looking for UH to turn some heads in conference play. And I think if they can win by 5 or more against a team like Cal State Fullerton, we're going to turn some heads. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, guys, that's all for today. And remember, subscribe. That's how the algorithm judges you. I got my channel remonetized on December 1st, and I want to be able to keep that. And the only way I can do that is with your help. So all I ask for you to do is to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That's how my channel grows. That's how I get paid. And I want to be able to keep this full time. And I want to be able to keep this monetization this time around. I only got to enjoy it for 2 months last year, but until they pulled the plug on me at the end of May. So anyway, thanks you guys for watching. And remember, as I said earlier, subscribe. I'll catch you all later. And I'll catch you all later. And go Bows. So go Bows. And I hope that we can win against Cal State Fullerton. Malama Poner, everyone.